Long live the king. Ladies and gentlemen, I just got out of theaters watching Black Panther, and I gotta say, this movie is 100% worthy of your money. It is something spectacular, something you've never seen on screen before, something that dives even into African culture and unveils a new side of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which a lot of people are going to really appreciate in this movie. So, yeah, I'm just going to really break down everything I enjoyed and disliked about this movie and just give my overall review about it. And yeah, so guys, sit back, relax, get ready for this. So to start with the story, just a little disclaimer. This was the one thing I was actually most afraid of, and with going into this movie, I was afraid of the story. I thought after what it has like 15 Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, I thought that this movie was actually going to lack in the story, somewhat like Doctor Strange did in my opinion. But this story is actually really original, and I appreciate it a lot. So, following the events of Civil War, we all know that King T'Challa now, his father actually died, and because of this, he becomes King of Wakanda. And in this, like in the movie, he has to overcome everything that his father did in the past and just become a better king. And as generic as that might sound, the story was actually very innovative. You didn't even get the full villain storyline until, which I'm not going to spoil, but you didn't get that till the middle of the movie, and that was actually the climax of the movie because you really understood why Michael B. Jordan was doing what he was doing as Killmonger. And I just got to say, this story, it was, like I said, the number one thing I was so afraid of going into this movie. I didn't think it was going to be as original as it was, as stylish as it was, and this added its own flavor to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I think Ryan Coogler did an amazing job directing this movie. Now, some plot holes within the storyline that I wasn't too thrilled about not being solved was we never got to meet Killmonger's mother, because all we know is that this guy from Wakanda, Killmonger's father, went to America, obviously had a kid, but we never got to meet the mom, so I was still kind of wondering who she was and what she was all about. But as far as everything else in that story, I mean, that was really the main thing I wasn't too thrilled about not seeing in the movie. Everything else in the movie is perfect. The story, it plays out so well, and that's the one good thing that I really enjoy about this movie. It doesn't feel like it's rushed. It doesn't feel too slow. It's the perfect pace, and I think this movie clocks in at like 2 hours and 18 minutes. It's perfect. So that's pretty much the whole thing for the story. As far as the characters go, every single character is relatable and attachable to, even the characters that play the smallest roles. I gotta say, Michael B. Jordan is easily one of the greatest villains in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to date. Killmonger, just from his story alone, is I mean, it's generic. Let's be real. It's a pretty generic story, but his whole like motivation and how he took out his plan was just, it was amazing. And I really give props to Michael B. Jordan for playing Killmonger. He did a great job. Chadwick Boseman, obviously playing Black Panther, King T'Challa, he did an amazing job as well. There's no doubt about it. I did feel some scenes with Chadwick Boseman felt kind of bland compared to someone like Michael B. Jordan, but he still did a great job. Obviously, his guardians, I'm not going to try to pronounce their names because I'm going to butcher them, but his guardians and his sister were great actresses in the movie as well. I highly appreciate them. They put forth their effort. His sister was pretty funny, I gotta say. She did have some lines, and she made quite a bit of good references to the real world.
Officer, I got one question for you. What are those?
Forrest Whitaker's character was, I liked his character, but I thought he deserved a bit more screen time for what he actually did in the movie. Yeah, so that's pretty much all for the characters. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else I want to talk about. I gotta say, Andy Serkis playing Claw was a bit underwhelming. I thought he deserved a little bit more screen time as well, but in the comics he did play a lot bigger role than he did in this movie, and I thought the trade-off they did in the movie, having Michael B. Jordan be the lead like antagonist in the movie, was a better choice, because Killmonger in the comics, yes, he had a bigger role, but as far as villain, he was nothing compared to what Michael B. Jordan brought to the screen. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for the characters. as for effects and cinematography, this movie visually, I don't want to say it looked the best, especially comparing it to something like Blade Runner 2049. But I think the right word to use for this movie is smooth. This movie was very smooth. All those fast action sequences and car flips and fight scenes, it was smooth, it was stylish. I appreciate Ryan Coogler's vision, and he did a great job delivering it to everybody watching this movie. It's something to see, and I just personally saw it in 2D. I wouldn't recommend 3D just because of the bright, beautiful colors. You don't want to tint that down with those glasses. You want to see this movie for what it truly is and how beautiful it truly is. So the effects in this movie were just mind-blowing. Slow motion, everything, it was beautiful to look at, and like I said, just smooth. But comparing it to something like I said, Blade Runner 2049, it just, there's no comparison. As far as the music goes, Kendrick Lamar killed it. I just love like the 90s twist he brought to the African culture when it comes to music. It's just, it was great. I'm not a huge fan of Kendrick Lamar's music, but I gotta say I'm going to be listening to this Black Panther soundtrack for months to come, because he did an amazing job bringing his style of rap to the African culture style of music, and I thought that it was good. It was actually pleasing to listen to the end credits, and like I said, I'm not a huge Kendrick Lamar fan. I'm not a huge rap fan myself, but he did bring something good to the table, and I hope this opens Marvel's eyes to looking for bigger, talented music artists instead of like the typical, you know, Hans Zimmer or something like that. It's always good to go outside the show, and that's exactly what they did with Black Panther, and it looks like to me it paid off pretty well. Now, as for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this is clearly the last movie before Avengers Infinity War. Avengers Infinity War hits theaters in, I think, 2 or 3 months. It's not that far away, guys. I'm so excited for it. But this movie does set up a pretty good storyline in the post-credit scene, which I called very early on. I knew it was going to be Bucky. And, well, I thought there was 2 options. I thought it was either going to be Bucky or Captain America, and Black Panther's sister actually making Captain America's new shield. I thought it was going to be a reference to either of them, but it was actually Bucky, which I still called, and it sets it up pretty well. You know they're going to be fighting together, and I'm just really excited for Avengers Infinity War. 10 years in the making is going to pay off, and the Black Panther just gets the hype for that movie higher than what it already was for me. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you all been waiting for in this video. My rating for this movie, I'm going to have to give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. There was some things I had issues with in the movie, like plot holes that were not completely filled to my satisfaction. But as far as a movie featuring almost an all African American cast and just showing a different side of Marvel, showing a different culture, bringing new talent to the field in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they killed it. Ryan Coogler is amazing. I adored Creed. Fruitvale Station, still one of my favorite movies to date, and he keeps his same rhythm in this movie, does not fail to impress in Black Panther. So guys, if you haven't seen it, please go and see it. I seriously hope you haven't watched this video if you haven't seen it, because there were spoilers in it, but it's amazing. If you've already seen it, go see it again. Go see it with a couple friends. The Black Panther is going to be one of the best movies of 2018, and it will be talked about for a long time. And yeah, man, Black Panther. Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan, Ryan Coogler, all those guys, they did an amazing job in this movie. They deserved the $235 million opening weekend. And I'm thrilled to see how much more money they make today on President's Day. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that like button down below and leave your opinions on the movie in the comment section below. If you would like to see more movie reviews, game reviews, let's plays, stuff like that, subscribe to Sparks Plays, this channel. And yeah, I highly appreciate all the support you guys have been showing on my channel lately, and I'll talk to you guys later. As always, have a wonderful day. Peace out. Woo!